Can you just tell me, from the time you took over to now, describe the evolution that you've seen in Brock's game, please?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think mentally, he's at a really good place. I first got here, I didn't know Brock too well, and I knew just knew some of the stuff in his life that he went through, and I felt that you have to build a relationship with him. And I feel that, not so much me, I think he believed in what we were doing here, and I think he bought in. I think it started this summer. He changed his workouts. He didn't do he did the league there where it's, river hockey. He didn't want to do that because that to me right away, I go, this guy's serious. And I think he just believed in what we were doing, and he was at a good place mentally.
A 27-year-old guy playing his first real playoff games. How do you think he's handled the intensity and the physicality of the first three?
Yeah, I really liked his game yesterday. I think he's gradually kind of seeing what playoff hockey's all about. So I thought yesterday he was one of our better players positionally. Obviously, getting that goal in that area. Obviously, screening the goalie for Millsies. I mean, he was an impact player for us last game.
Rick, when you change PP1,
yeah,
right? I mean, the direct implication is Garland goes off and Lindholm goes on, but it also results in Boeser being at the net front. How key was that aspect of the change you made in sort of determining how you decided to roll out your first power play unit yesterday?
Yeah, I just felt, because I was playing Lindy in certain situations, and I didn't want to give him too much, but I just felt now's the time to make a play. Thought, we had some good, like I said, game two, I know we had some really good looks. I think if we score those empty netters, maybe change it there, but I felt we were a little tight. I thought Lindy going there, and I thought we had a great meeting. We introduced another play, I think, that will help Brock, what you did right before he scored. So having him down low on his forehand helped facilitate that goal. So yeah, having him around the net, and him and Millsy they have a connection. They talk every day. Hey, if I'm here, I'm going to shoot this side. I mean, that's a planned shot. It's not just close your eyes. So Millsy was going to that corner because he knows Brock was going to be in that position.
Rick, sorry. With just a procedural question. Every time you've had Sergei with you this season, as far as I can tell, he's been on the bench, but he's been eye in the sky for you in this series, or certainly yesterday was. What's the thought process?
Yeah, we did that about 7-8 games ago, to be honest with you. Just give Gotch a different perspective down up there. He's really come down with some really good information. Him, Yogi, the twins. And sometimes you have too much instruction on the bench is a bad thing. You got to be careful. So I think it's a mixed bag of that stuff. But he's valuable, coming down in the intermissions for sure.
With Brock being at that net front, it takes a certain mentality to accept being in that role, to take the whack, take the hacks.
Sure.
How hard was it to convince him to go there, to be that guy?
Well, I think early in the season this year, him getting success kind of, I wouldn't say buy in, but it's helped him kind of, hey, I got to be net front. Nobody really, net front is a tough position sometimes because you might be there 4 or 5 games, not get anything, and you might be the guy that's screening or whatever. But I think his early success has bought in to be that net front guy for us.
Is it something that you've had to sort of reinforce with him? Like you said, it might not happen every game. Just to stay there, you're helping us. It might not happen every game, but then again, you'll have a game like you did last night.
Well, there was a stretch where, he was leaking out and he wanted to be, we had him on the one, like, it's not necessarily I want him there sometimes. It just organically happened, and what happens is you start filtering away from the net. So it's important that you remind him. But he'll remind himself. I mean, the thing with Bess is hockey IQ is really smart. He's one of our best practical. He's one of those guys that I want him to go first in our drills. He usually does the drill right. It's no different than the game where he'll say, "Hey man, I gotta these plays here. I gotta be here. He'll tell you before I even have to tell him. So he's got a really good hockey IQ.
Rick, what did you make of the McCarron hit on Casey DeSmith?
Yeah.
And how fine a line is it to sort of, as a team, lose your mind and go after a guy, but knowing that you're getting a power play out of
Yeah.
that and ultimately backing off and.
Well, it's a little already got a goalie hurt. Listen, sometimes there's collisions with I get it. I just didn't, I thought he, instead of going straight, he did that one thing at the end. That separates it's accidental to it wasn't accidental. So, I mean, listen, I played a hard game. I don't want to rip on players, but he went this way. So he put his shoulder into Casey. So, yeah.
I don't know if you saw, the league fined him $2,000 today. Does that mean anything to you, the organization, that at least it's on the record now that there's some sort of action from the league?
Well, I'm sure the refs' antennas are up, if something like even remotely close to that happens, but, the $2,000, I don't think it means much. No, I mean, no.
Rick, I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about the PK.
Yeah.
Obviously, killed off the last 12 penalties in a row. What does it do for the team's momentum when you have a good kill?
Yeah, I think the PK all year has been a resilient group. We've had some stretches where we've had a bad run, a bunch of 5-on-3s. It looks bad, but I think overall it's been pretty good, especially from last year's PK. The last couple of years, we've kind of turned the corner. So the resiliency for me and that group has been big. And I feel yesterday, the last couple of the games, our clears have been a lot better. I mean, listen, Kohler eats 3 pucks. I mean, one in the head, one in the shoulder, one in the collarbone, and I seen Kohler do that when we won the Stanley Cup. That's why we went and got him for games like that. I mean, that's a lot of courage of him blocking those shots. I mean, those are point blankers. So, and I think that gave the PK a lot of. I mean, when he blocked those, the next puck, there was a lot of juice on that PK, and I think Kohler supplied that.
Can that carry on to 5-on-5 play as well? Like you see guys getting those blocks on the PK. Can it then inspire other guys to kind of take that extra step?
Yeah, Petey at the end, great block. I think Teddy, 6-on-5, great block. I think Lindy had a big block. I mean, that team over there, they block. I mean, it's like a blocker series. Like but when you have teams that block, sometimes it deters people from shooting the puck, and it shouldn't. You should just be able to change your angles on the shot, for both the teams, I think. But the pain, the guys accepting the pain was big for us.
Rick, have you seen any of the videos from last night at home, or did you hear about the watch party at home?
I saw a little bit. I think somebody sent it to me. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, so they had 10,000, more than 10,000 fans.
It's crazy.
What does that mean to you as a coach and to this team to see that the team is on the road, far away, and they still show up the way they do?
Well, it just gets you excited, what you have at home and the support. I think it's deep down. I know a couple of guys got emotional for game one, and so it does add a lot when you see people on the streets and cheering you on. It's crazy.
Rick, 12 shots on goal last night. Obviously, you'll take any kind of win you can get it, but obviously, I don't think that's conducive to long-term winning. Did they do something on their forecheck last night that surprised you? Is it something where, I know you had mentioned, there are spots in their game plan that you could get opportunities from. Was it your guys not doing enough? Or how do you sort of, I guess the basic question, how do you create more so you're not, stuck defending and can get more than 12 shots?
Well, it comes down to this, breakouts, their forecheck and their neutral zone. I thought they got after it, and we didn't. Quite frankly, and we talked as a team. I didn't feel we moved our feet to work back to space. And when you do that, you're disconnected, and all of a sudden, they look good. And credit to them, they look good. But I think we made them look good. I think, and I think it's if we work a little harder. I think we have to work 5 yards harder to our spots. That will help. Our breakouts, our neutral zone forecheck, it will make us connected. 5 yards will make us connected.
Rick, a bit of a philosophy question for you. It seems like there's a real lack of information around injuries during the playoffs this season.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, from your perspective as a coach, if that kind of lack of information is an advantage or a disadvantage?
Well, I think, there's a lot of speculations and a lot of that, and it's hard. People want to know, and, we're instructed not to. But, I just think when things are floated like Denver's knee, it's not the old injury. It's got nothing to do with it, and, you're hearing it is. That stuff kind of bugs me because it takes legs. And then when you say it, maybe people don't believe you, but, that's the information when you start throwing, stuff on the wall and see if it sticks. But I understand that the press, they want to know. I get it. So I feel it.
Is the philosophy to not disclose that information to protect the players, like when they come back, so that they're not getting targeted, or what's?
I honestly don't know the reason why. It's the NHL. I don't know. They're instructed to lower body, whatever. I don't know why. I know in the NFL, everybody knows. I don't know why. You guys probably know more than I do, other than the fact that I'm not supposed to say it's either lower or upper. Sometimes I get confused.